That's all right. What made Japan the destination of choice? Oh,
I
okay.
have a good friend who lives there. I've
Oh,
always wanted to visit.
cool.
We both never been, so we figured
Might as well.
might as well. Yeah.
It's
Definitely.
so nobody speaks English.
Well, actually, you'll find a lot more people speak English than you
nice.
think. Yeah.
Have you been?
When I was in Oklahoma, everyone I spoke to spoke English.
Oh, really?
I mean, when it was slightly broken, but everyone
Oh,
spoke
yeah.
English.
That's good enough.
Mm-hmm.
And like those questions, are those what you like?
Oh, full disclosure, all rides are recorded.
Oh.
Yeah, just for safety. But I do put some up on YouTube if people want them. If they don't want them, then I don't bother. But I got these questions, obviously off the internet. They're date questions. There's this thing that came out in Princeton where you have these 36 questions that people go out to ask on dates, and it turns out that the larger percent of the times when these people were asking each other these questions, they fell in love. When that didn't happen, they bonded and became friends. And so when I interview people, because I'm fascinated by people, I ask these questions that are not so romantic but are more innocuous.
Yeah.
These are the ones that are build more bonds of friendship.
Interesting.
Want to give it a shot?
Sure.
Okay. Given the choice of anyone in the world, who would you like to have dinner with? Live or dead? As a dinner guest. Do this. Turn that off. Turn it here.
I have a few.
Well, you only get one dinner guest.
My really nerdy, so really my nerdy answer is Benjamin Franklin.
That's maybe. He was about things, man.
I know, that's right. I liked him. I recently read his autobiography.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
When you think of the founding founders and how buttoned up everybody was,
Yeah.
he wasn't that.
I know. I know.
Yeah, I've read all
In his own words.
Yeah, he was not that at all.
He was interesting.
How about you?
I would probably choose my father because he's not alive anymore.
Yeah, another girl, she said she would like to have dinner with her grandfather because she never met him. But,
That's a good one.
yeah, and I thought it was pretty cool. Okay, you're going to be famous.
Okay.
What do you want to be famous for? In what way? Do you want to be a movie star, radio, politician, inventor, savior? Always ladies first. Always ladies
Okay,
first.
alright. I would want to be famous for philanthropy.
Okay.
Or like doing something, I don't know, big in another country.
Mm-hmm.
Like helping a big group of people in a big way or something.
Okay.
Making a difference.
I like your answer.
No stealing of the answers now. Come on.
What about your legendary?
No, I like that answer.
Well,
The services.
See, you know what?
That's good.
That was a good question, good answer. Do me a favor. Could you scoot to your right so people can see the face of the person who gave that answer? Because I'm like, she came up with this great answer. Well, who was she?
Maybe YouTube celebrity
Hey,
famous.
it could happen. You never know.
I want to be famous for the YouTube.
Oh, my YouTube answer. That's what. How about you?
I like her answer.
Okay, gotta ride with that?
I was thinking, there's so many different things, but then yours is that's a great one.
Okay, cool. How about this? Before you make a telephone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say and why?
Definitely not personal calls. Maybe like for a work call.
Mm-hmm.
If I have to have a tough conversation, I
Okay.
might like outline what I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah, but definitely not for personal.
You can dig at me either. I just start running off.
Yeah.
Start running off the mouth.
Yeah.
What would constitute a perfect day?
Perfect day, just relaxing. No commitments, just kind of take it easy. I really don't have days like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I run a business, so I'm
Always busy.
yeah, and then I'm taking classes as well, and then I try to get to the gym, and it's always like I'm just always in the mood.
So perfect day would be sitting on the couch, maybe move once or twice.
Maybe not even on the couch, just being able to go, go to the beach.
Oh,
Just be
okay.
able to do something with not even have my phone with me.
Right. Okay, that's cool. That's all right. How about you?
My perfect day, let me think, would probably be, I guess my most perfect days have been on an adventure, like in another country or something.
Okay. So you're about to live your perfect day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Trying to get as many of those in.
Okay.
Yeah. I can picture like the friends I'd want to be with, friends and family, like certain people I'd want to be with.
Right on.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, I like that.
Do we get to hear your answers?
Oh, so I would like to have dinner with Bruce Lee.
Oh, okay.
He was the first icon of my life that I just fixated on and bonded on, read all of his work, so I'd love to sit down and have a conversation with him. I would like to be famous for what I'm doing now. This thing that I'm doing, it's corny, and I've said it before, is that the internet is full of people arguing and bringing people down. I want to be famous for the guy who gave everyone a reason to start liking each other again. I want people to I'd like to go back to a little less of what we are now and a little more of what the idealism of what we used to be. That's just for me. I never rehearse what I'm going to say on this telephone call. My perfect day for me is where I can eat all the food that I like to eat that's fattening, not gain any calories, not feel stuffed, and never feel too full so that I can't eat the next thing.
Yeah.
So I just want to eat all the stuff I like. It's quarter childish, but you know, when you get old and you're worried about your abs, that's would be perfect for me. Let's see. Last sing to myself. I sing to myself every day in this car. At some point, I have to sing myself awake.
Yeah, when did you last sing to yourself?
Or to someone else.
Oh, I remember.
And I do sing to other people too.
Oh.
In the car, actually. I'm trying to get him to sing that song just a few days ago.
I'm trying to get him to sing Justin Bieber.
Oh my God.
I
You lost a bet or something? Wow.
Don't like it.
Okay. How about you?
I can't remember. Probably yesterday driving to myself. Never to other people.
What song?
Just sing when music's on.
Yeah, I'll sing to the radio. So
Okay.
whatever's on the radio. Yeah, I
Okay.
definitely don't sing to myself.
All right. If you were able to live to the age of 90 and retain either the mind or the body of a 30-year-old, which would you choose?
If I was to be 90, I think
Yes.
I'd want the mind of a 90-year-old.
You want the
Well,
mind of a
I don't
90-year-old.
know. I mean, assuming I don't have like dementia or Alzheimer's.
So you'd
All
want
the
to.
experiences that and like perspective you would have at 90 would probably be.
So you want the mind of a 30-year-old.
Well,
Or you see, if you're going to be 90,
yeah.
you want to have the body of a 30-year-old for 60 years of your life, or the mind of a 30-year-old for 60 years of your life.
I mean, I guess if I had to pick between mind and body, I'd want the better mind.
Okay, so
But-
you want the mind of a 30-year-old.
Yeah, assuming that the mind of a 30-year-old is better than the mind of a
Well, and I guess the question is that you retain everything.
Yeah, okay, yeah, mind.
You don't start to lose stuff.
I say mind.
Okay. Okay.
What about you?
Me? Well, I was thinking about like this. If I know people in their 80s and 90s that have sharpest attack.
Yeah.
So, and in my family, that's probably the case.
Yeah.
So I'm 51. So I'd
Wow.
want to stay this.
Yeah.
I would say this because I don't think we don't have any history of losing.
Yeah.
So I want to keep the mind because I don't want to be trapped in my body. I don't want to have the body of a 30-year-old and have that body. I mean, the mind of a 30-year-old and the body of a 90-year-old.
Yeah.
I don't want to be trapped in this thing.
Yeah.
I've seen people who use walkers who can't get up, and I
True.
don't want anything to do with that. I'd rather die in a plane crash than slowly die every day.
Interesting.
But I've always been a very physical person, so that's why that matters for me. Let's see. Do you have a secret hunch on how you might die?
Really old together.
Okay, cool.
I don't know.
Well, because people think like, okay, my grandfather died of such cancer, or there's a history of this, or I've always been afraid I was going to die in a plane crash. Me, my secret hunch is that I'll live to be 130 years old.
Yeah.
And miserable. Wishing years of that time, please, death, please take me now. But every day, and working, having to work the whole time.
Yeah, I'm 30.
Yeah.
Like starting a new career.
Exactly. Okay, dude, I guess you want all this land to yourself. I guess you get to have it. Yeah, you know, that's Santa Monica for you. Wow, just, okay, right
I've
on.
never seen that actually.
Yeah, just, you know, whatever.
It's like no one will notice.
Yeah, he don't care. He's got a bike, a self-propelling, you propel it a couple of times and then he does it for the rest of the cruise. Yeah, he's on his own. He's on his own road. How about, what's you?
What was the question?
Oh yeah, a secret hunch on how you
Oh,
might
secret
die.
hunch.
Other than dying together
Oh
in
no,
bed.
I don't know. Oh yeah, I think hopefully hold at peace. What about you?
Old age.
Yeah.
Die of old age? Okay.
So that's
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now this is perfect since you're both here.
Okay.
Name 3 things you have in common with your partner.
we're honest, caring, and big on family, respect.
Okay. You have little ones?
We're both into fitness.
Okay. So, okay, you guys are compatible.
Yeah.
For what in life do you feel most grateful for?
For what life?
For what in life
Oh, what in life?
do you feel most grateful for?
I would say my family number 1. And friends.
Family, friends, of course, good health.
That's true.
It's important.
Yeah.
Me too. I've got all my original parts.
Yeah.
Never broken anything. Everything that I was born with is all still here.
That's good.
You know,
That's good.
because it's something you can't actually buy. You know, all the money in the world, you can get stuff fixed. You can, you know, monitor this and that, but there's no substitute for just being genetically lucky and stuff not breaking down on you.
Yeah.
You know, I worry about, because I still have everything, I worry about when my appendix may burst.
Yeah.
I should ask my father if he still has them. I need to ask my mother and father if they still have their appendixes. Because if they do, then I ain't gonna worry about it. Because he's 80 years old, my mom's 77, so okay, you know. But yeah, okay. If you could change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be?
That's a good one.
Did I say it right?
Parents did a pretty good
I know what I would change.
job. Huh?
I know what I would change. I was never fed sugar.
Oh, really?
I wish I was never fed
Oh,
sugar.
you wish you were never fed sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sugar, it's addicting. It's addicting.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to get off of it. If you've never tasted it, you don't know what you're missing.
Yeah, exactly.
So I wish I'd never been fed sugar, and I wish that I'd been forced to play an instrument.
Oh. Yeah.
It's funny you say that. My parents, they never use salt for us. So like even when I
Mm-hmm.
make us food, she's like, "You put salt."
Oh yeah.
I just never use it.
Yeah, and probably salt too. Both of them are very corrosive in the body. I would have liked to have not had to experience them. Yeah. Yeah, definitely that. Because
I want to say less pressure to do well, but I mean, that's probably a good thing too.
yeah.
If we just had a lot of pressure, my parents are pretty strict, but not
Mhm.
too strict.
Mhm.
Just strict enough to be like, and to do well. And,
Make things purposeful.
yeah.
Well, that's cool.
They're pretty healthy. We like sports and instruments.
Were you an athlete in high school?
Yeah.
What was your sport?
Basketball, soccer, track.
You were oh really?
Yeah.
A sprinter, middle distance?
Sprint.
You were a sprinter?
Yeah.
What was your event?
My favorite event was the 200. I did the 200 and the 100 and the 4 mile.
Go ahead, girl.
Yeah.
Got a jockey to go.
Yeah.
All right, I was a sprinter. All right, that's cool. How about you?
I'm thinking my parents were the same as yours.
Mhm.
They were strict, but as you get older, you realize that was not for me. I think I would be the same way.
Yeah,
Growing up, I would probably say, "Oh, I'm really strict."
Yeah.
you look at it's our generation because I'm so much older than both of you, but I'll say within baby boomers or whatever, you hear everyone say, my parents were strict. You hear that saying said from people who are doing well, who are successful, who are accomplished. Whereas in this generation, parents are not strict, kids are entitled, and no one's doing anything. Well, this one's living at home with their parents, at 27 years old living with their parents. Well, were your parents strict? Clearly no.
Yeah, that's true.
There's something to be said for the not strict parents having kids who are doing nothing.
Yeah.
Or just
I know, that's
parasites.
I'm thankful, actually, in the end.
Yeah.
We have to respect.
They kept us out of
respect our
trouble.
parents.
Mhm.
There's no choice.
Really good job.
Yeah. I realized, I'm thankful. Like, my dad wasn't the greatest guy in the world. He was kind of a prick, really. And not because he was strict. He was just a prick. But there were some things that were, probably could have learned anywhere, but I did learn from him.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah. My father, I know a lot of kids who didn't know their dad. And a lot of kids think, it's interesting to think, my father wasn't around, or I was cheated out of this, or cheated out of that.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Your dad was a world-class asshole, then you were probably better off not having him around.
That's true.
So, I can see a number of categories where I would have been better off not being raised by my father. But I was raised by my father. He was there, so he taught me, if nothing else, if I were to have children, I would be there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say, this ain't working out, she's too problematic, it's too difficult. Deal with it.
Yeah.
Deal with it and raise your kid.
Yeah.
That's just all there is to it. That, because you have choices.
That's true.
I'm not a big, I used to believe or think there were a lot of accidental pregnancies.
Oh.
I'm finding out that's not the case. And if that's not the case, then
That's a choice you made.
use the choice you made, so, honor the choice, be responsible for that choice. Now, I understand there are guys out there that actually wanted a kid here and a kid there and a kid there. I'm not exactly sure what the thinking behind that was, especially when you couldn't afford the one over here, and then you got the other 4. Now, if you can afford 10 kids, go ahead, knock yourself out.
Yeah.
But it's not just the money, it's a matter of time that you want to spend with them.
That's true.
But, I was always, if a kid was born, then I would have been there. Where are you from?
We're both from Orange County, actually.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, California originals.
California.
Where'd you go to school?
College, I went to USC, and high school, I went to Intercal High School in Irvine.
Okay.
What's Iranian, if that's where you're
Oh, do you mean like our ethnicity or background?
I hadn't even, that wasn't gonna come up.
Oh.
But I wouldn't have guessed that.
Oh, really?
No, it's the truth, garden variety white folks. No, not to insult you if that's an insult, but I'm like, I didn't catch it.
People usually guess it right away.
Well, because people usually, they ask us, and then when people always ask where you're from, I always just want that's the answer. I always figure,
Yeah. Now, if I had started off with Orange County, and if I started where you're from, you said Orange County, I would have guessed that you were probably Middle Eastern.
Oh, really?
A lot of Middle Eastern folks live out there.
Yeah, I guess.
Now, I remember when there was none,
Yeah.
or not as many, because like when I graduated high school, 1982, I remember my best friend's sister went to UCI.
Okay.
So we helped her move out there, and they went to the beach, which is right down the street from the school, where the basketball parks are, and there's that little tidal pool. People dive off in there, and everyone was white. Everywhere you looked, everyone was white. I went down to the beach maybe last year. Everyone was Persian.
Really?
There were no white folks anywhere.
especially in Irvine.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe last week because it was a Persian holiday.
Well, no, it wasn't. That was last year.
Oh, last year.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But everywhere we went, I'm like, oh wow, cool. Well, all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just it's like if you guys were from Glendale, I would have guessed Armenian.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Everywhere I go, people think I am that thing. If I go to Spain, they think I'm Spanish.
Spanish,
If I go
yeah.
to Greece, they think I'm Greek.
That's cool.
Yeah. I don't know. People don't know.
What is it with Japanese?
No one's gonna think I'm Japanese.
You're not gonna get that. You're
Yeah.
gonna get that.
Yeah. I'm excited for that.
You know what though? With the glasses on, you could be.
Japanese?
They can't see if they can't see his eyes.
That's
He could be
true.
Asian. Yeah.
Maybe. Keep those on.
Yeah. Because until
Locals.
when you guys said you were going to Japan, he says I've never been there, and I'm thinking when you say you went to SC, I'm thinking, oh, he's probably Japanese because I couldn't see your eyes until you said for both of you running. I'm like, oh, okay. Now without the glasses, I'm sure they'd
Yeah,
probably be
he's
a
very
completely different.
Persian. Should I reveal?
Oh yeah, yeah, okay, yeah.
More Japanese.
No more Japanese.
No more disguise.
Outdoor Japan, though.
I know,
Just
so
not,
excited.
Oh man, yeah.
I heard the people are so respectful and helpful,
I'm
and just the culture.
I'm fascinated by that culture. I remember the first time I read Shogun, and then I just started just gobbling up any book that was remotely related to Japan,
Really?
and I've just been fascinated with it ever since. There was a one-time Cruise movie he did called The Last Samurai, and I'm not.
seen that movie.
I really liked that movie. That movie worked for me.
The Last
You know?
Samurai?
Yeah, that
It's
movie.
based on a true story.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I wonder because if you know, they say it's based on a true story, but if you look at Dances with Wolves, it's the same script.
Is it?
It's exactly the same script, and I mean scene by scene. So when they say based on a true story, do they mean a true story of somebody going to Japan, or okay, interesting because that may be based on.
Actually looked that up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's mildly based on a wrestler that went over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
I haven't seen Dances with Wolves though, but that's
if you see Dance with Wolves, you will see exactly the same movie with Kevin Costner. The same. I mean, really, it's interesting because I started to get into this thing with writing scripts, and you'll see the same thing written over because Dancing with